Let's explore the adventures of Toto with Vaheez Gurukul. The story, The Adventures of Toto, narrates about the adventures that followed after the narrator's grandfather, who was an animal lover, bought Toto, the little mischievous monkey. The story begins with the grandfather buying Toto from a Tonga driver for 5 rupees. Toto was so cute and looked very charming that the grandfather decided to add him to his private zoo. However, he was afraid of his wife, the grandmother, who was against him bringing as many pets as he liked, so the narrator and the grandfather brought him secretly into the house. Toto was extremely mischievous. The narrator, at one point in the story, states that if there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. Toto, on his first day, ripped open the peg which he was tied, shredded the narrator's blazer, and tore up the wallpaper. Toto was then transferred to the servants' quarters where he lived with the other pets. Usually, most of the grandfather's pets got along well with each other. However, Toto kept all of them awake at night. To avoid further problems at home, grandfather carried him along with him when he went to Dehradun. But the journey turned out to be quite unpleasant for him. At the Saharanpur railway's turnstile, Toto scared the ticket collector by suddenly poking out his head out of the bag in which he was kept. The ticket collector thought that Toto was a dog and he had an argument with the grandfather. Later, he charged 3 rupees extra from the grandfather. Grandmother finally accepted Toto and permitted grandfather to keep Toto at the stable. His companion was their donkey, Nana. At night, when the grandfather came to inspect Toto, he found the poor donkey Nana struggling because Toto had jumped onto her head and bitten her ears. Toto loved the warm bath that the grandmother prepared for him. It was a treat for him. He would expertly check the temperature of the water and then enter the bath 1 foot at a time. Then he would soak and soap himself. He used to enjoy this a lot, especially during winter. Once he almost boiled himself because he did not realize that the kettle was still on the fire. Luckily, he was saved by the grandmother, who pulled him out of the kettle just in time. One day, grandmother had made pulao, but when everyone entered the dining room, they found Toto sitting on the table and stuffing himself with the rice. He threw a plate at the grandmother, who had screamed at him. He also threw a glass of water at one of the aunts of the narrator. Then he jumped out of the window with a dish of pulao. He climbed all the way up the jackfruit tree and ate the whole rice while everyone watched. Finally, to make matters worse, he threw the plate onto the floor and broke it into pieces and laughed at the grandmother. This incident made the family, especially the grandfather, understand that they could not keep Toto anymore at home. He was becoming more and more expensive as he kept on destroying things. They could not keep replacing them all the time. Finally, grandfather took Toto back to the Tonga driver, but he could only sell him back for 3 rupees. Anyhow, he was relieved as he got rid of the mischievous monkey. Thanks for watching The Adventures of Toto by Ruskin Bond.